The bounty hunters. The police are on the lookout for more clones and being asked to go in soft. The unspoken truth of things was just how much information was being let out very, very slowly to not incite a planet-wide panic. The primary danger may be gone, but people freaking out over what happened may very well push what's left to be set on fire. That's nice puke, but what next? Are we really going to fly over to the abandoned mining base on a frozen moon that's getting industrial-scale food supplies on the regular and not expect a colossal horror show to appear? I say we get some drones with powerful boosters to fly to that place, latch on and push it into the star. And if the thing in there is being contained by the ice and no preserved by it, what do we do if it eats the heat? Pukey counters and Bike actually starts thinking. Still, we should just stay back and bombard whatever it is. Send it into the planet, send our remaining rods from God at it. Not get close, the hat says, and there is a lot of nodding going around. The entire crew, new recruits included, are all invited in the largest recreation room they have. It's getting pretty crowded, especially with all the Nagasha tales. But having as many insights as possible is just smart. Unfortunately for Pukey, Cindy was occupied with keeping all the clones happy despite about half of them being highly nervous and uncomfortable being in the room with them. Question. 3 chimes up, raising her hand. Yes? Pukey asks, as much of the room stifles good-natured chuckles. What's a rod from God? Some kind of holy attack? It means to strike a target with a very large kinetic round from orbit. They average around half a meter across and 10 meters long, since they come out of the heavens. Pukey vaguely gestures upwards. It's been compared to being smote by an angry god. So rods from God. Wow, what are they made of? These ones are a tungsten core with a thick coating of tritite. Oh, so they're axiom resistant and have a large amount of mass. That makes sense. 12 begins. She had been staring at the projection of the planet and mining station. I have a question. Go ahead, this is a brainstorm meeting where the only bad idea is the one that isn't said. Pukey encourages her and she lets out a small smile. Why don't you just let the shipment happen? 12 asks, and what little chatter there was dries up. Bug the ship and see who picks it up. Yeah, send something through with it you can watch through and explore from far away. You can do that, right? I can do that. Snaky volunteers. If we shunt some extra power to the communication arrays on the ship, we could boost the signal, and I can pilot a drone in that mining base from the opposite side of the gas giant. That should give us time to at least dodge the opening attack, and is a bit more subtle than cracking open that ball of ice and finding out it was the egg for something that's now very upset with us. Airfarce points out, this is a bit bigger than all of us. Why are we still here? Alyssa asks. The whole lot of them are recruit happy. You show even a little bit of loyalty and they'll give you every reason to give them a lot more, Roth says in an amused tone. Heck, I was part of a kidnapping attempt, and because I didn't have a bounty they full-on seduced me and, well, things just kept spiraling. Right. So we have a good plan, which is basically recon while taking advantage of the shipment we intercepted. Can anyone think of a good reason not to send drones in to scout out things in the mining base? Possibly cognitohazard attacks? Something like what the Pale generators were cooking up would be a bad day. So we start with low-grade equipment to minimize potential damage. Then we activate more comprehensive features, and if no damage or risk is offered, we take full advantage of it. Seems easy, Mr. T adds. Sounds good. This is our first workable plan. I would like at least 2 others. Beyond sending probes to do flybys and sending drones from a distance, Airfarce asks. Yes, Pukey says. Well, I mean, you can always go to the station, Grace had to have gone a few times, and it's clear the shuttle can make the trip on autopilot without getting hurt. Stepping in yourself shouldn't be too much of a step up, Halissa offers. That may be true, but you're not cleared to our level of satisfaction for field duty. Furthermore, we need to discuss the extension of your contract if you want to stick around. In the end, the Sidewinder Street Sisters get disbanded and brought in as trainees to the Chainbreaker. The only girls in Halissa's gang that aren't orphaned or having only slaughtered sisters for kin are heavily encouraged by their living families to get off planet, and many of them are looking for their own ways out. Also, the fact that the name of the gang, when translated into English, starts with SSS gets a lot of snickers from the men. When they explain they accidentally made a cultural joke in one of their languages, they drop it. Although a few more embarrassed girls try to justify it by there being so many languages that there's no way to not make a stupid pun or idiot joke in one of them no matter what you call something. That bit of silliness aside, the tension is mounting once again as they've adjusted the flight plan of the shuttle and sent it on its way with 2 extra bits of cargo, a beacon and a drone. It pulls in and is greeted by another clone. She seems confused but relieved that the order has arrived and sets things to be picked up by a robotic pallet. A pallet that sinks into the floor and takes the delivery with it. Nothing opened up, nothing shifted, and Snaky turns on the axiom scanning, which promptly burns out and short-circuits the cloaking of the drone. Hello? What is this? I don't know what to do with this thing. I don't think one can digest it. Why is it here? The tiny Kobe asks as she examines the drone and stares directly into the camera. Wait, what was that? J3 asks suddenly. I saw it too, Tang confirms. Saw what? Pukey asks. A flicker behind the girl. Something was there for a moment. It was sort of oval-shaped, sharp ends. It was there for a fraction of a second. Tang explains and sounds puzzled. I saw a circle inside a larger shape, J3 adds. A sharp-ended oval with a circle inside. Mustard muses in thought. It's back, Pukey says as the clone outright starts sniffing at the drone. Did you get any more details? No, but I can confirm it's what you described. Sharp-ended oval, circle inside. It's an eye, J3 says slowly after rubbing his own. But there was something wrong with it beyond appearing out of nowhere and vanishing. It's why we didn't put it together. Great. So that poor girl is in there with something. Who wants to bet that we've met 2 and the source of the eye is 1? Pukey growls out and there's a terrified silence. So the question is, what is being made that surgeons, pharmacists, accountants, metallurgists, geologists, and more is needed to support it? What could grab the attention of Iva Grace so thoroughly that she would make nearly a dozen clones to support it? Cindy asks in a horrified tone. Considering that she had no problem leaving the Pale Generators or that face without much support, it makes me think this is the project she really cared about. Whatever it is. Pukey remarks and his own eyes widen slightly as the eye appears again. It's gone before he can say anything, but no one missed it. The girls are forced to break away as only a couple are able to hide behind Cindy, and they take cover behind Pukey and Snaky instead. Cindy makes a contented noise at that, and Pukey internally sighs at that. He doesn't want a military vessel to turn into a flying nursery. The Chainbreaker needs to be able to fight, and having such precious cargo is a massive liability in a fight. They'll need to have specially reinforced and protected rooms for the children, rooms strong enough to survive even if the ship itself is demolished around them. But that's for later. Right now, they have another creature to disassemble, another child to rescue, and possibly more. The supposed 2 keeps fiddling with the drone for a while before setting it down and seemingly dismissing it. Snaky slowly has the drone turn to watch. Once again, she brings up an automated pallet for the cargo, and it lifts up the food only to vanish oddly. This time, the pallet and crate of nutrients do not sink through the walls but move diagonally upwards and simply disappears both into thin air and the ceiling simultaneously. The clone starts humming and singing to herself as she gets the final pallet to lift off the last bit of the delivery. Snaky uses this time to move the drone outside the shuttle to the tune of "Num num nummy nums, num num nummy nums, num num nummy num nums." The sheer dissonance between the entirely innocent song and the implications and creepy environment feels like a cold nail slowly traveling up the spine, followed by an electric shock when 2 rides the last pallet into thin air and promptly vanishes. "This is weird," Snaky says. "Yay, no kidding," Tang offers. "We need to test to see if it's safe for something other than a clone to go there. We need to send a technically living sample of someone, some way to fool scanners and understanding to—" "I can do that," 5 says, and Pukey looks to the girl that was huddled up against his back. "It's an important technique. You clone organs and hook them up to machines and nutrient pumps to keep them alive and strong until they're needed. They're technically alive in you. They can fool sensors." "Do we have the equipment for that?" Tang asks curiously. "No, not on the ship," Cindy says after a moment's thought. "But I was using some on planet. It's easy," 5 offers. Having her sisters around had really helped the girl. "Are you willing to use it to help us? You just want to help us, right? Stop any monsters that have been made and get us all to safety, right?" 5 asks. "It's the only moral course," Pukey confirms. The answer has 5 baffled. He's saying not only yes, but he can't imagine himself not doing it, Cindy says. "I'm not sure about the rest of the species, but the humans we have here are all convinced they're heroes out to save the galaxy." "So, they're going to help her?" 5 asks. "Yes, we will," Pukey assures her. "Okay. I can make a copy of parts of you, and if you use a Kutha trace, you can have it look like you in Axiom, too," 5 says, and Pukey turns a bit and sweeps her into his arms. "You're making it very hard not to get attached, little lady. Thank you for helping us," Pukey says, and there's actually some slight giggling from 5 as Cindy stifles her own. The rest of the girls have no such restraint. "So, I'm guessing we're making a reinforced kids section captain?" Tang asks. "Yes, we'll get it done as we repair the weapons and shields," Pukey says. "Well, it's not like we were in for anything other than the long haul. Guess it means I need to start looking for a woman to woo." J3 notes and Cindy scoffs. "You're a man. Just forget to wear your undershirt someday and walk around with your jacket open. You'll have a line of candidates after 10 minutes, she says, and J3 chuckles. What's so funny? It's just such an inversion of back home. Even after months of being in this madness, it still catches me off guard. J3 notes. Perhaps not seducing the traumatized women of a freshly liberated planet while mid-mission would be wise, Pukey offers, and J3 shrugs. Sure thing, boss. I was just thinking out loud. All right, I'm going to start a basic scanning sweep. Automate the drone now that the girl is gone. The eye hasn't appeared again, so who knows, Snaky offers. Good idea. Whatever's down there needs a lot of food, so it's both organic and big, or it has an absolutely insane metabolism, Pukey confirms. Question. 12 chimes up. Yes? Our sister there said something about feeding one. That means she's not one, but that also means she's the only one of us that knows she has other sisters. What makes her so different from us? 12 asks. That's one of the things we're going to find out. Also where that eye came from, who or what one is, and why so much food is needed. Among other questions. Make sense? Yes it does,